Thank you all very, very much indeed. I have to say, it's the most amazing pleasure for me to be here with John Burns, my colleague and good friend through our fun and very difficult days in Sarajevo and Afghanistan and Iraq and elsewhere. And to be here also with Ali Aksi and also Frank is just superb. I'm really excited. It makes me feel impassioned again about journalism, about the international coverage that we do, and that has really driven me throughout my career. And I really feel at this moment a great sense of hope and renewal on what we're going to be embarking on over the next at least 4 years. It's been just a week, but it really does feel like a giant journey for humankind. I keep looking at those pictures and remembering the after effects of the election here, and I keep saying to myself, who would have thought that people all over the world would be dancing in the streets celebrating America rather than burning flags and demonstrating against it? And who would have thought that the sound of a page turning would be so deafening? Who would have thought that we could still make history and witness it and celebrate it from one end of the globe to the other? And who would have thought that we could actually produce a new feeling, something historic in this retro age of endlessly repeated cycles and such cynicism? Who would have thought that people would so resoundingly say yes to hope and no to fear? I just came from interviewing Bernard Kouchner, the French foreign minister and Nobel Peace Laureate, and he practically said that it was worth all those years of freedom fries just to see the page turning. He was quite euphoric as he waxed lyrically about the possibilities ahead. Last week I went to Times Square just to watch. I wasn't actually covering the election as a British citizen, much like John. I cannot vote and I don't proclaim an allegiance to either party. But watching what's going on reminded me of covering so much I do overseas. It reminded me of the celebrations during the fall of communism and the fall of the Berlin Wall. It reminded me when I went to bike my child to school earlier in the day, and I saw long lines of people in New York City on the Upper West Side snaking around blocks waiting to vote, patiently taking pictures of themselves, proudly standing in line for hours and hours and telling me that they'd never stood in line so long. I told my son that he would remember that day. And I thought back to 1994 of South Africa when they voted for Nelson Mandela, and the lines of people that the television cameras captured and the helicopter cameras overhead, of the lines of people snaking all over that country, round and round, and waiting from dawn to dusk for their first opportunity, certainly the blacks, for their first opportunity to cast a vote. I thought of what we'd witnessed in Afghanistan and Iraq. I thought, frankly, that I was covering a foreign country which was having its first ever democratic election. And this, you know, is what makes my job so exhilarating, even after 25 years at CNN. And it's why I can relate, and I do every day, to what John was just saying, and to what Frank and to what Alexei has said about the importance of this job that we do.